Doraemon and Nobita didn't want to go out and collect the laundry, so Doraemon pulled out the freezing light from his pocket. It freezes anything it shines on. After the rain stopped, Nobita's mom, Tomako, forgot to collect the laundry. The clothes that had been soaked in the rain were already dry, but the freezing light only works on shapeless things like water or smoke. Nobita opened the window and saw a guy smoking outside. He turned on the freezing light, and the smoke froze mid-air, falling to the ground like a solid block, hitting the guy on the head. Nobita, now curious, wanted to try it again. He opened the anywhere door and headed to Shizuka's bathroom, but Shizuka wasn't there. Nobita aimed the freezing light at the bathtub. The water instantly froze into a solid block. Just as they were leaving, Shizuka came back, ready to take a bath. She stepped into the tub, and as she stood there, a hard block began to melt, sending her splashing into the water. Nobita and Doraemon walked through the shopping street, where they saw a guy performing with a flaming torch. Nobita pointed the freezing light at the flame. The flame turned into a solid block in an instant. Later, they made their way to the mountainside. They saw thick smoke and thought there was a fire, but when they got closer, it was just John and Sunio roasting meat. Nobita picked up a freezing light and froze the smoke into a block, which dropped onto John and Sunio. Nobita and Doraemon laughed so hard, they didn't notice John and Sunio getting up to chase them. John and Sunio didn't even care about the meat anymore. They were both after Nobita and Doraemon. Doraemon quickly grabbed the freezing light and aimed it at the clouds in the sky, blocking their way. Using the freezing light's power, he created a solid path over the lake, but John and Sunio were so focused on Nobita and Doraemon, they ran straight onto the water, only to fall in after 2 steps. On their way back, Doraemon kept worrying about barbecue. He was afraid it might start a fire. Nobita and Doraemon flew back using the bamboo copters, but Nobita accidentally turned on the freezing light again. This time, it froze the water in Shizuka's bath, trapping her inside. As Doraemon predicted, a fire broke out in the forest behind the mountains. Nobita and Doraemon rushed to the scene. They used the freezing light to freeze the flames. Doraemon handed a shovel to John and Sunio, telling them to break up the frozen fire. Nobita and Doraemon used a metal pipe to dump the frozen fire into the lake. Just when they thought the fire was out, the blocks reignited. After working together, the fire was finally put out. Nobita remembered Shizuka and wanted to show her the freezing light. When he demonstrated its power, Shizuka wasn't impressed. Instead, she was ready to give Nobita and Doraemon a piece of her mind.